Not at all.
Oh, look,
Okay.
we're getting a call.
Got
Do you
your
want me
back.
to just put it live?
Yeah, put it live. Bring it on.
Hey, caller, you're on the air.
Graffo?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much.
Yeah.
Your lighting looks really good tonight.
Oh, I'm so glad that you said that because we've been talking about this tonight, and I feel that this is a better setup.
The lighting looks awesome.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, it looks totally different.
By the way, what's your name? What name do you want to go by on television?
Jennifer?
Oh, Jennifer. We've talked, right?
Yep, a couple times.
Yeah. You sound like you're a beautiful lady.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. What's going on?
What is going on?
Yeah. Have you been watching football tonight? You can tell Graffo.
Is football on Thursdays?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah. I think it's the Giants and the Redskins.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not,
You're not a football
connected.
fan?
Well, I like it when I watch it. I just
Right.
don't keep track of when
You
it's
didn't
on.
know it was on. That's okay.
No, what I was thinking about was Ebola,
Oh, wow. Far out.
because I was listening to the BBC.
Uh-huh. You know,
And,
I got to tell you, Jennifer, one time I wrote the BBC, and I was so angry. And I wrote them a very harsh letter. And they wrote back saying, hey, we're BBC America. We don't deal with your emails.
well, it's still good information. I mean, it's still information that you don't get
Oh, I agree.
elsewhere.
Sure.
Boss, you want me to get on over there and talk to BBC?
Yeah, would you?
Well, were you saying they was giving you the cold shoulder, or what's the?
Well, they were. And you just write that down, and we'll revisit that later if you would, Joe Bob.
All right, I'll do whatever you need me to do. I'll go over there and set them straight.
Joe Bob, that's what I said to do.
Okay. All right, sorry. Sorry about that.
Jennifer,
But,
what's been going on tonight?
Well, I've been reading The Stand
Uh-huh.
by Stephen King.
Oh, I
And-
like that book.
It's so good you don't want to leave it open
I'm
on your
telling you.
pillow at night. You got to put it on the floor or closed somewhere.
So you're like a literate person.
I don't know. I'm forcing myself to finish The Stand, but
Well-
it coincides with the BBC stuff on the Ebola.
Oh, you got a good point there, my dear. That's a
But,
really good point. Except you're
But
not.
if it was like, I don't know, if it was like a European country, even though they have money to deal with stuff themselves, and all you have to do is wash your hand. I mean, soap kills it.
Yeah.
Even if they could deal with it themselves, I think that there would be more help going. Like, there would be more help going to control it. And then when I hear the reports about how it's out of control in Africa, it makes me think it's like a like Hurricane Katrina type thing. Like,
So what you're
people
saying?
are kind of waiting to see. They're just waiting for it to wipe out as many people as possible because Africa's so ripe. I don't understand.
Africa's a mess, and they're laying helpless in the face of this contagion, right?
I don't know. I don't understand why people. I don't understand why the countries of the world aren't helping.
Well, I think some of them are, but I think the help is completely inadequate for the.
But if all it takes is soap,
You think so?
and
I bet you
that's what they say. They say soap and water kills it.
Can I jump in here, boss?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not a pathogenic, or rather
Doctor.
or dealing with germicidal or bacterial. Or I'm guessing that's an oversimplification though about soap.
Well, you've cleared everything up. Daedalus,
We did send 3,000 U.S. troops.
Obama has declared he's going to send 3,000 U.S. Army troops to Africa.
To fight the germs?
No.
All it needs is soap.
Well, what they're going to do...
They don't look good on paper, though.
Well, what they're going to do is they're going to contain areas where people are at. That's all they can do.
I don't know. I think that
Should we send
if
3,000 bars
it
of
was
soap?
somewhere else, it would just more aid would be going, more countries, and it would be.
Jennifer, let me point out that when the World Health Organization people show up, that there are villagers that attack them. Have you heard this?
No.
Yeah, they seem to be mired in, well, superstition, some of them.
It just, the thing that keeps coming to my mind is like Pearl Harbor in Japan and the atomic bomb. Like
a catastrophe.
Well, no, it's a good excuse. Like in World War II, I think people, there was a lot of harm being done in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
But the bomb was dropped on Japan because of one base getting attacked. Like, if it's people that the big powers don't mind something happening to.
So you're saying this is like a racist situation?
I don't know. One of my parents is black, so I guess I'm taking it personally.
No, and I understand that. When we fought Japan, there was really no mercy, and I'm sure that them being Japanese had a lot to do with it.
I remember I asked my granddad one time, I said, talking about what they did over there in Nagasaki and Hiroshima and all that, and I said, could you see them, I know what they done to Dresden and all them other places was pretty rough, but I was saying, you think that you could see them dropping those 2 bombs on Germany. So I was asking my grandfather because he was in World War II.
What did he say? What did he say, Joe Bob?
He said, he said after a long time of being quiet, he said, I couldn't see that happening.
I disagree with that, and he knows more than I do. But my opinion is that we would have bombed the living hell out of Germany with atomic weaponry, had we had it at the time.
But we had it and we didn't.
Well, we didn't really perfect it until about...
It was that summer, right before.
Yeah, it was real close. We didn't really have it, but we were very keen on defeating the Nazis.
And by that time, they were pretty well beaten already.
So how come we tested it on Japan and not Germany? Not that I want that to happen to anyone.
No. Well, we were really pissed off.
Well, wait a minute, but aren't we kind of saying that maybe in Germany, kind of the job was already done?
That's a factor. That is definitely a factor.
Whereas they were saying that over in Japan, they was going to dig in, and they weren't going to let go. They weren't going to let it up on it. Because remember, they had the emperor and all that. And over there in Japan, from what I understand, and I ain't an expert on it, and I, one, he's going to, be going on and saying that he knows, what other people don't know on it, but I know what I know on it, and that, that the situation.
What you know, Joe Bob?
Excuse me?
Tell us what you know, Joe Bob.
I'm trying to be right in the middle of it. If you let me finish.
Finish up, my
That
friend.
they's gonna dig because he's the emperor and he was a god, essentially in their eyes, and they weren't ever gonna let up.
Do you know, Joe Bob, that it was common knowledge how the Japanese were treating vanquished nations at the time, and they were very hard on everybody they beat.
Well,
worse than the concentration camps?
They ran their own concentration camps, and they had a infamous unit that experimented on Chinese prisoners like the Nazis did with Jewish undesirables.
Yeah, I heard the Nazis were pretty rough too, from what I heard.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if that was just rumors or what, but
The Nazis were rough, and they're probably more efficient than the Japanese.
Well, like with Hurricane Katrina, you know, they saw all that coming, and everybody kind of just watched it happen. Here in the U.S., we watched it happen,
Sure.
and then when it was done,
Sure.
you know, everybody called their insurance companies, and they fixed it up, and you know, the people who were gone, and then now they built it up for other people, and there's a lot of foreign investment in Africa, and it's a naturally great place in terms of resources and space.
Oh, it's chock full of resources. You know, the thing is to get some stability in the governments, the various countries that have those resources. But if you're looking to exploit those resources in those different countries, you got to have some stability.
I don't understand why more countries aren't helped. I mean, like, if there was an Ebola outbreak in a Western nation, even if it was a super rich country who could handle it themselves, we, meaning Western countries, would all be sending more aid. I mean, it would be contained.
I tend to agree with that.
You could always look at it from the Marxist materialist aspect that what is the West getting out of Africa, and would changing any of their current behavior there result in their favor? And I think you could probably argue that it wouldn't. They get what they want out of Africa regardless.
you saying there ain't no Daedalus? What you saying is there ain't no profit in it for them?
Right.
So there's not. So when people say humanitarian, it's not really just humanitarian in terms
It's
of
icing on the cake.
helping people. It's humanitarian means helping people where there's.
They do awesome work, but it's a drop in the bucket.
But wait a minute, how come Obama don't want to jump on this? Ain't his daddy was from that whole continent?
No. Obama does want to do something about it. He's sending 3,000 U.S. Army troops down there.
Well, I'm just
I
saying.
just don't see how troops help. I mean,
I tend to agree
don't
with you,
need
Jennifer.
troops.
They
I mean-
don't help. They don't help. It's a gesture.
I mean, look at 20 years ago. Well, that's probably longer than 20 years ago. They're in Rwanda and Burundi with the civil wars there and genocide. People didn't care about that either. So
Do you remember Rwanda, Jennifer?
yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I read a book about it.
It was genocide, yes?
Yeah, definitely.
It was a terrible thing, and I think the French are the only ones that kind of jumped to.
I got it.
I think Trixie's not interested in this.
She is, sweetie.
There's a
having a
problem in the
spasm.
studio.
I have a security problem. Joe Bob is on it.
Oh,
I'm taking care of it.
all right. Jennifer,
So y'all was talking about Rwanda. Go on. I'm sorry about that.
I don't know.
No, so Rwanda was one where it was going on for a long time. They didn't do anything about it.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Nobody did do anything about it. And question is, did the United States have a compelling interest in Rwanda? That's my question.
or in
Now, I'm not trying to
Somalia.
be harsh. I just want to know, did we have a compelling interest to intervene?
I mean, I guess humanitarianism.
I would agree with that, Jennifer. I think you're right. That we did, it wouldn't have cost us very much, but we didn't, and a lot of people died.
Each Tomahawk missile we shoot into Syria is like $1 million.
Man, don't bring us down, dude.
That would pay for like all kinds of stuff, and it probably blows up some rickety buildings or something.
Rickety buildings.
It's all-
Jennifer, you strike me as a literate person.
Yeah, I'm a literate person.
What do you like to read?
Well, I like to read what's good.
Well, you're reading.
I like Hemingway.
Whoa.
I like Philip K. Dick.
Whoa.
I like
What's he drawing?
Emily Bronte.
Okay.
But right now, I don't want to abandon. I like Stephen King. I read Road Work.
Right.
I'm a
So you read fiction. So you're like one of the last people on earth that's still reading fiction.
Well, it's too long, isn't it,
Yes, it is, isn't it?
for today?
Yeah. I know one of my cohorts, Joe Bob Grinds. I don't know if he reads anything at all.
Well, can I say something about that?
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
Well, I had a friend who went to university.
Uh-huh.
And, one time I was over at his house or his apartment, and he had all these books stacked up,
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at all those books, and I was like, you gonna read all those books? And he said, yeah, he had to read them, or, it was a handful of them, and he had to read them all that year for his classes. And I said, it occurs to me, the fellows who wrote those books, they read a bunch of books. And all the books that they read were written by people who read a bunch of books. And the people who wrote those books read a bunch of books. And it's kind of it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on.
Where are you going with that, Joe Bob?
We're standing on the shoulders of giants, is what he's saying.
Oh, I see. Okay. Daedalus, what do you think about that?
I think it's just a way of the transmission of information through generations.
Yeah, but
Instead of an oral tradition, it's written.
It's not just a handing down of information.
It's a conversation with people that have come before you
But
of ideas.
Jennifer reads literature. She reads nonfiction.
But those people
Excuse me, I take that. She reads fiction.
Right.
Which is an art form.
Sure.
Yeah. That's far out, man.
Yeah. I was wondering what her favorite Dick book was.
I'd like to know myself.
Oh, I like
Now Wait for Tomorrow?
Martian Time Slip, and I like Transmigration of Timothy Archer. Those are my two favorites.
That's not bad. That's pretty good. He's wildly popular these days, even though everybody I know that reads him thinks that they're the only person that reads Philip K. Dick.
Well, but 20 movies have been made from his books.
I'm telling you, he's great. I think he's going to go down not as a great science fiction writer, but as a great American writer.
I agree.
That's what he always wanted. When you read his biographies, for a long time he was trying to get his fiction works on the shelves as fiction and being pigeonholed as science fiction. So, he went with what puts food on the table. But that's really where they're supposed to be. They're not supposed to be relegated into a...
Right on. I misidentified one of those books. It's Now Wait for Last Year.
Yeah, I haven't read that.
No, it's good. It's good. It's far out stuff.
Yeah, I wish he was still alive. He's one of the people who's on the cusp of my generation where he could have been alive a long time while I was alive.
You sound young and pretty, so I'm guessing you were born about the time that he kicked the bucket.
Yeah, but no. I mean, before that, there could be substantial time, and I look over to California and I think, why is Philip K. Dick not there? It just doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem.
Maybe he transmigrated.
There we go. That was Daedalus.
Thank you, Daedalus.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Daedalus. Joe Bob, are you there, or are you just...
I'm right here, boss. What's up?
Well, I'm just wondering if you've...
yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
Here we are,
Listen, I don't want to cause a problem, but I just didn't know if you were there or not.
No, I'm in here. Trix is looking in the mailbox and whatnot. And
Do you think we should move on to our Graffo box? Graffo? I didn't see your hand movements yet, so I don't know what you want us to do.
Sweetie, I can barely hear you in here.
I was wondering if you wanted us to move on to the Graffo box, but I didn't know what you wanted to do.
What's the Graffo box?
You want me to bring out the Graffo box?
Oh, the Graffo box? I didn't know that
Yeah,
was something
and-
for public consumption.
Well, and I forgot to mention it in my welcome that we're a live call-in TV show and
Yes.
that people can call in, like Jennifer,
Yes.
at 512-472-2255 if it is September 25th.
And by the way, Trix, we have a P.O. box, and we
Yes.
love getting cards and letters, and you guys keep those coming. We love reading that stuff, and we love your drawings.
So, okay, I'll put up the P.O. box.
And do that.
On the big
And let me just say that I respond to every goddamn letter that I get, okay?
No need to use the Lord's name in vain there, boss.
I'm just telling it like it is.
In Odin's name.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Jennifer, we've spoken before, yes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple times we
Yeah,
have.
yeah, I know. The last time we talked, I kind of forgotten that.
I think maybe we talked about Wuthering Heights, but maybe not.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't really remember.
if we talked about Wuthering Heights and I said something that sounded like I knew what I was talking about, then I was lying because I've never read that.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what it was. Maybe that's just an atmosphere of what we talked about. But have you seen? Do you watch movies?
I do?
Have you seen that one, Alexander?
No, what's that about?
About Alexander the Great. It's
Yeah, I think I have.
it's Colin Farrell
Yeah, yeah.
and Anthony Hopkins plays Socrates.
Okay, it didn't leave a big impression on me. What do you think about it?
I avoided it
Mm-hmm.
forever
Yeah.
because I didn't think I'd like it. I hadn't seen that many Oliver Stone films,
Right.
and I just didn't think I'd like it. So
Well, what is your favorite movie? Oh, no, let me take that back. That's a big question. What's your favorite movie lately?
oh my god.
Okay, I don't want to put you on the spot. Hang on a second.
Yeah, that's hard.
I know that's tough. Your Daedalus.
You know, that is kind of an on-the-spot question.
Okay, hang on a second.
Hey, boss.
Yeah, JB.
So is Jennifer? You got a skeleton there.
Yeah.
What's the deal there?
Well, she was talking about Ebola, and we were talking about the atom bomb or whatever, something like that. And so I drew a skull.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That has
So
nothing to do with Jennifer. I mean, I
That's a
don't.
really good image, actually.
I would like
it's
to
pretty
give this.
dark. I mean, we're just watching this happen,
Oh yeah.
and it's bad. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a bad sign of the times. I think that's
It
a
is.
really apt image.
It is. I think things are going to get worse before they get better, and I hate to say that. And I'm trying to be an upbeat person, but I think things are tough right now.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too because right before book 2 in The Stand, there's this quote by Paul Simon, which I assume is a lyric, and I don't have the book right here,
Uh-huh.
but it basically says the blessings can't last forever, and it's talking about the U.S.
Doesn't that make sense that we have been inordinately lucky or blessed, and that maybe, and I don't want to, I'm not saying this is true, but maybe our time's over.
Well, a lot of our blessings came out of World War II. It came out of that dark time. I mean, it seems like the people who had it the beginning of the country was struggle, and all these people dying of sickness, and then dying of war,
Yeah.
and then dying of infighting,
Uh-huh.
and then there was like the Industrial Revolution,
Right.
which was I guess a boon, but kids were treated really badly. There were cities built out of wood. There were fires. There was disease. People were drinking at 8 in the morning every day, and there was no type of regard. And then
But there has to be a balance to
nothing
that.
was really good until World War II, and the people came back, and there was this like ideal way of living where like, you know, one person could work, you know, the man could work, and that was enough to support the family, and they could have kids, and there was all this bounty.
Yes.
And then their kids were like
Well,
the Vietnam era people.
let me ask you
And-
this. Do you think that the 1890s were good to us?
I don't know the 1890s. I mean, give me some context because I don't
Well,
know
I'm
it.
just saying that it was a pretty bland time, and it was a time of economic and industrial expansion, and we made progress in medicine. Daedalus.
People were killed fighting for an 8-hour workday and stuff like that.
Oh, you go right into the Pullman strike.
Hey guys, hey,
Yeah, what?
why don't we light it up a little bit?
Yeah, talk nice.
Well, but I mean, the people who got the best were the children of the World War II people. They had the best.
If
They-
you were
they had-
white
they were-
and Protestant.
Yeah, but even for the people who weren't white, they were having it better than they ever had it before.
That's true.
And at least, you know, there was a spirit of recognizing, oh, stuff's bad, we're fighting for our rights, and it wasn't this deadening, you know, where, oh, all that's been done, everything's okay now, and then you go off into the workplace thinking you have an equal right or a fair chance, and you go to get a job, and it's basically like, oh, I didn't realize you were black.
I got to tell you, I wouldn't stand a chance back in the last turn of the century myself. I'm lily white too, and I probably would have been an alcoholic. Let's face it.
Hey,
All
Graffo.
all great cartoonists were.
Yeah. What do you say, sweetie?
Hey, sweetie. We have another call. I didn't mean to interrupt in the middle of a conversation.
Oh, no, but she's such a good caller.
Yeah, we've got a new caller
Okay.
now, and
right.
we're happy Jennifer called in.
Jennifer, we're going to let you slide on out of here, but I really appreciate you calling back.
Thanks
All
for
right,
calling,
thanks,
Jennifer.
Graffo.
Thank
I'll
you,
call
sweetie.
back.
Later on, Jennifer.
All right.
Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
God,
Okay.
she's such a good caller.
Yeah, did I cut y'all off in the middle of a
Yeah,
conversation?
that's
I
okay,
wasn't
but
listening.
She's so thoughtful. I mean,
Yeah, that was interesting.
she's got it together in a way that Daedalus or I don't have it together.